Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best touchscreen laptop.
Starting at number 5.
Lenovo Ideapad Slim. If you have an extremely tight budget and want to spend as little as possible, get the Lenovo Ideapad Slim 3i Chromebook 14, 2023. You can regularly find the Core i3 configuration, paired with an FHD display, 8GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage, for around $350 to $500 on Lenovo's website. The Core i3-N305 CPU can handle light productivity tasks like text processing, web browsing, and video playback. Just don't expect to do anything intensive like video editing. The cheaper configurations with an Intel N100 or N200 CPU and/or 4GB of RAM are fine if you have an extremely light workload, but know that you'll experience more slowdowns when multitasking. Admittedly, this 14-inch Chromebook looks pretty cheap design-wise, however, it's very compact, and its battery lasts around 13 hours of light use. As for the display, while there are multiple options, only the FHD IPS panel with 100% sRGB coverage supports touch input. It looks sharp and gets bright enough for use in most indoor settings. Above it is an excellent 1080p webcam, so your colleagues and clients can see and hear you clearly on video calls. Unfortunately, the keyboard feels a tad mushy, and the touchpad is small and sometimes unresponsive.
Coming at number 4.
Lenovo Ideapad 3. The best budget touchscreen laptop we've tested is the Lenovo Ideapad 315, 2021. As this is an older model from 2021, you can easily find an AMD Ryzen 5 5500U configuration with 8GB of memory and 256GB of storage for around $500. The Ryzen 5 5500U is 2 generations behind AMD's latest mobile CPUs, but it's still plenty fast for general productivity tasks like web browsing, video playback, text processing, and spreadsheets. If you can stretch your budget slightly, we recommend upping the memory, as it'll give you more headroom for heavier multitasking. Battery life sits around 9 hours of light use or 8 hours of video playback. You can get this laptop with a 1080p TN or IPS display. Unless you're on a very strict budget, we recommend getting the IPS option, as it has better viewing angles and color reproduction than the TN variant. The keyboard feels tactile, but it may cause some fatigue over time as the keys require a fair amount of force to actuate. As for the touchpad, it's small but reasonably responsive. Unfortunately, you can't use the USB-C to charge the laptop or connect an external display, and the HDMI port only supports HDMI 1.4 standards, limiting the output resolution to 4K at 30 Hz.
At number 3.
ASUS ROG Strix. Power up your play, draw more frames and win more games with Windows 11, a 13th Gen Intel Core i7-13650HX processor, and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060 laptop GPU at 140W Max TGP. Blazing fast memory and storage, multitask swiftly with 16GB of DDR5-4800 MHz memory, and speed up loading times with 512GB of PCIe 4x4. ROG Intelligent Cooling. To put this amount of power in a gaming laptop, you need an even better cooling solution. The Strix features Thermal Grizzly's Conductonaut Extreme Liquid Metal on the CPU, and a third intake fan among other premium features, to allow for better sustained performance over long gaming sessions. Swift visuals. The Strix G16 has a fast FHD 165Hz panel to make sure you never miss a moment. It also covers 100% of the sRGB color space and feature Dolby Vision, adaptive sync support, and a 90% screen-to-body ratio for a stellar gaming and viewing experience.
Number 2 of my list.
ASUS Zenbook 14. If you only perform light productivity tasks like text processing and spreadsheets, you can save some money with an ultra-portable, as you won't have to pay for performance you don't need. We recommend the ASUS Zenbook 14 Flip OLED, 2023. This sleek 2-in-1 convertible feels incredibly well built and is easy to carry around. It has a gorgeous 90Hz OLED display, a comfortable keyboard, and a large touchpad with a built-in virtual numpad. It supports pen input and comes with an MPP, Microsoft Pen Protocol, 2.0 stylus, but there's nowhere to dock or attach the pen for transport. Performance-wise, its Intel 13th Gen CPU has no problem handling general productivity and more demanding workloads like photo editing and programming. Battery life sits around 8 hours of light use, so depending on your usage, you may need to plug it in for a quick charge to get through the day. The port selection is great. It has one USB-A, two USB-C/Thunderbolt 4s, and an HDMI. In addition to its excellent 1080p webcam, there's also a facial recognition IR camera for quick logins. Fans of the 2-in-1 tablet form factor can get the Microsoft Surface Pro 8 2021 instead. You can detach the keyboard to save space or make the device easier to hold, and you can pop it back on when you need to type something out. The display supports pen input, although you need to buy the stylus separately, and the same goes for the keyboard. There's already a newer Microsoft Surface Pro 9, however, it's only a minor upgrade to Intel 12th Gen CPUs and is more expensive. You can likely find a great deal on the Surface Pro 8 since it's an older device.
And number 1.
Dell XP 159530. The best touchscreen laptop we've tested is the Dell XP S15 2023. This 15.6-inch mobile workstation is one of the most popular laptops on the market, and for good reason. It provides an excellent user experience and packs plenty of processing power to handle demanding tasks. Its thin and light design makes it easy to carry around, and it feels incredibly well built, thanks to its CNC machined aluminum chassis and carbon fiber keyboard deck. You can get this laptop with a 3.5K, touch-sensitive OLED display. It produces deep, inky blacks and is suitable for color-critical work as it has full DCI-P3 coverage. The keyboard feels great to type on, and the touchpad is large and responsive. Spec-wise, you can configure this laptop with an Intel Core i5, i7, or i9H series CPU. As for the GPU, you can get the base model with an Intel Arc A370M GPU if your work doesn't require a lot of GPU processing power, or upgrade to one of the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 40 series GPUs, up to a 4070. The NVIDIA GPUs aren't the fastest on the market as they run at a low TGP, total graphics power, of 40W, but they're still adequate for intensive tasks. Our only complaints are about the webcam and thermals. The webcam's image looks extremely underexposed, and while resolution isn't always the culprit for bad image quality, a 720p webcam still feels rather cheap on such a premium device. Lastly, the keyboard gets uncomfortably hot under load.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.